Hi, my name is Jordan Quan, and I'm going to tell you about my place in Canadian history. Well, it all started back in Zizingli, China in the 1900s before World War I, when my great grandfather decided to leave the family and start a better life in Alberta, Canada. After he settled in, after a long boat ride, he then brought over his son, my great grandfather, who ended up working in a restaurant. But when they eventually found out that they couldn't bring the rest of the family to Alberta, they ended up going back to China to stay with the family. My great grandfather later met his wife, which led to the birth of my great grandfather, who also grew up in Zizingli, China. He studied in China and became quite a successful doctor, who then came over to Canada for a job opportunity to work for the Chinese medicine company. After a few years, he tried to branch out of the company and tried to start his own. This just annoyed the people who sponsored him, and they threatened to send him back to China since they feared competition. Fortunately, his son, my grandfather, had heard soon enough and paid the company to let his father stay. Soon after that, my grandfather came to Canada in 1952 illegally to get away from the communism in China. But the main purpose was to be with his father and help bring the rest of the family to Canada. He bought legal papers in Canada and worked in a restaurant that his father's friend set up for him. And they eventually made enough money to bring my grandfather's two brothers and his mother to Canada a year later. 2 years after that, he eventually brought over his sister. In 1943, there was amnesty, so my grandfather came forward and became a legal Canadian citizen. Later on, he went back to China in pursuit of a wife, and he ended up meeting a lovely woman named Wai Yin. He quickly fell in love and soon later got married. My grandfather took her back to Canada while pregnant with my aunt to start a better life and settle in Hamilton, Ontario. A year later, on September 28, 1965, my father, Jason Quan, was born. He grew up in Hamilton, Ontario, facing racial discrimination, being one of the only Chinese kids in the city. Although there was a language barrier, they persevered to learn English by hiring a teacher from a local church. And like my grandfather and my great-grandfather, he eventually overcame adversity and made many friends. In 1989, my dad and my mom's mutual friends set them up one day and they instantly fell in love. My dad moved in with my mom and her family and ended up working for my uncle in contracting. After dating for 6 years, they finally got married. 4 years later, I was born on July 9th, 1999, being the middle of 3 children, as my older brother Justin was born 2 years earlier on May 19th, 1997, and 6 years after that, my younger brother Jaden was born on August 18th, 2003. I'm currently working hard in school, and my aspiration is to one day make a good living through my passion. My family worked extremely hard and persevered to get me where I am. And all the hardships that my family endured helped to shape who I am today. I hope that one day I will pass on great opportunities to my children as my family has done for me, and pass down the lessons and stories for generations to come.